right, I'm going to show you the demo for the hydrogen and oxygen moles lab and kind of show you what the procedure is. So the best thing to do is to take notes. All right, so I'll show you how to set up the hydrogen and the oxygen generators. All right, to set up the two generators, one you're going to need zinc metal and 3 molar hydrogen chloride. All right, and you're going to use a test tube to put all the compounds in, as well as a pipette and a stopper. All right, and to set up the zinc and the hydrochloric acid, what you basically are going to do is you're going to take one of these plastic pipettes. On the pipette, there are 2 places that you want to cut it. One is at the first graduation right here. If you can see these little marks right here. The first cut is going to be at the first graduation. Let's get a piece like that. And then the second cut is going to be right at the junction where the tube, I guess, meets on the bulb. You want to cut it right at that spot. So these are the 2 pieces that you want after you cut it. And then what you're going to do with this piece is you're going to take the septa, right, and put it through so that it's sticking out. So on the septa, if you look on the septa, I have a larger circle, a smaller circle. You want the skinny piece to be sticking out on the larger circle, so that when you put it into the test tube, it fits perfectly in the test tube, and you have the little piece that's sticking up, right? And all the chemicals are going to go in here. One of them is going to generate hydrogen gas, one of them is going to generate oxygen gas, all right? And the gas is going to come out of the tip, right? So as far as one of the gases, you're going to have to figure out which one is the hydrogen and which one is the oxygen. All right, so once you have the bulb, you're going to want to break it up into 6 equal parts. So you're going to want to make your own graduations on this, okay? And try the best you can. One way is to use a ruler and to measure out the 6 equal areas. Another way would be to find where the center of this is. All right, and you can eyeball it, but like I said, the best thing probably to do is to grab a ruler and to measure exactly where half of it is. And then you want to break up each of those halves into 3 or into thirds. Okay, and again, I am just eyeballing it, but you might want to use a ruler. So you should have 5 lines, and breaking it up into 6 parts. So you can see from the top to the first line is part 1. There's the second part, the third part, the fourth, the fifth, and the 6th part. For the first one, zinc and hydrochloric acid. First thing is always to put on goggles. As far as the zinc, it's zinc metal. You're going to weigh out approximately 10 to 12 grams of zinc. And you're going to put that in there. If the pieces are too big, you can break them. The zinc is soft. It actually bends. You can actually break it. All right, and you're going to fill it up with about 20 to 25 milliliters of hydrochloric acid. All right, be very careful with the acid. And it should fill it up about 3/4 of the way full. Whoop, be careful of the bubbling. Actually, we'll do a little bit less of HCl. We'll say about 20 milliliters of the HCl. About 3/4 of the way full. And then you'll put the septa up here on top. Basically, you can see the stream. What's coming out there is the gas. All right, and you're going to want to wait probably about a minute or so, because there is oxygen in there, and you want to get all the other gas, the oxygen, the nitrogen, all of the gas and air. So it's completely filled with the gas that is being generated from the zinc and the HCl. So that is that generator. Then you can do a second one. The two chemicals there are hydrogen peroxide and yeast. Same type of thing. You're going to want to cut off at the first graduation. Get another one of these. For the next gas generator, you want to use 1 to 2 grams of yeast. Fill it 3/4 of the way with hydrogen peroxide. Just give it a little tap to mix it up. And you can see it's bubbling. It will foam up a little. Again, put the top on for that one. And give it about a minute or so to make sure that all that gas inside of there is replaced with the gas that the reaction is generating. All right, and then we have this handy little device to put the reactions in, to kind of hold them for you. There's going to be a lot of water that is going to come out of this. So this kind of catches the water. You're going to want to put up some paper towel on the ground. On the table. Now, the piece that you cut, this is what all of your reactions are going to be done in. All right, and what you're basically going to be doing is filling up this bulb with all the different parts of gas. All right, so since we're doing hydrogen and oxygen, one of them is going to be 100% hydrogen, and then another reaction or another test will be 100% oxygen, and another one will be 100% hydrogen. Then you want to try 1% hydrogen and 5 parts oxygen, 2 parts hydrogen, 4 parts oxygen, and so forth and so on. All right, so that's what the lab is going to be. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how do you collect a known quantity of gas inside of this. Okay, and what we're going to do for that is we're going to fill this up with water. So grab a squirt bottle, fill it up completely with water. Till the very top. Don't squeeze this, all right? You don't want to squeeze it, but when you turn it over, the water should not drip out because of the capillary action. Now, if you do get a bubble, I don't know if you can see the bubble, but there's a little bubble in there. Just turn it back over, wait for the bubble to come to the top, and then if you want to fill it up with a little bit more water. There you go. If it drips out, don't worry, it's just water. And then you have this completely filled. And what you're going to do is you're going to place this over the plastic part, and the gas will all bubble through and push out the water, and it fills up that headspace with the gas. Now to fill up the bulb that you just made, your graduated bulb that's filled with water, with the gas, especially you want to know exactly how much gas you put in there. You're going to put it on top of the generators, and the gas will all bubble through, and it will all displace that amount of water, and you'll know exactly how much gas is in there. So for example, if I go over to the zinc and the HCl, right, and let's say I want to fill it up, I want amount of gas to go up to our second line here. So like 2 parts of the first gas and 4 parts of the other. You just put it over here and it should bubble through. And I want to bubble it until the water level drips down or goes down until the second line. All right, you'll see the water coming out, it's all right, just water. And then you stop. And then you can see, well, based on my graduations, that this headspace up here is completely filled with this gas. All right, once you fill it up with the first gas, you then want to bring it over to the second gas generator and fill it up with the next gas until all of the water is completely out. Okay? And then once you have filled it up with the gas, as soon as all the water is out, you want to quickly put your finger over the hole so that the gas does not escape. Right, now when you initially add everything, the gas generator usually is a little bit quicker. When things start going this slow, you might have to add one of the reagents or mix them up a little more. Once all that water is done, which we're almost there, then you know you have 2 parts of one gas and 4 parts of the other gas. That's how you fill it, all right, with the gas. The first part of the lab is to ignite this and to hear a popping test, all right? And basically we have these little starters that we've kind of changed a little bit so that all it gives is an electric like pulse. Don't put your finger on there because you'll get a little bit of a zap. It doesn't feel good, all right? But pretty much what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your finger off quickly, put the wires through there, and press the button, and listen for a pop. All right, I'll do it real quick for this one. All right, you can easily hear that pop. All right, it's the ignition of the hydrogen and the oxygen gas. And what the first part of the lab is to change the amounts of hydrogen to oxygen and to, with your ear, try to quantitate what has the largest sound. All right, and the first part of the lab is going to be about that. All right, and then the second part of the lab is you're going to launch them like a rocket. You're not going to hold on to them. You'll do the same thing, and you'll see how far it goes with the optimum mixture, and you can measure how far it goes.